जय माता। चरणं शरणं रमाम्बिगे, चरणं शरणं त्र्यम्बके. Some of us were in the deep absorption of silence, while others whispered the mantra in their hearts. Our individualities merged and gathered at the lotus feet of Mother. Time moved on. Suddenly we heard someone rushing away from Mother Nilayam to the hall. My nephew rushed out, but could get only incoherent words in answer to his questions. But soon we saw flocks of devotees wending their way to Mother Nilayam. By then the poignant truth had dawned in our hearts. When we reached Mother Nilayam, the passage and the staircase was filled with devotees. Slowly going up, an unknown power held up each heart. I could not stand and sat on the stairs, waiting my turn to go up. Soon we were led up in small groups to the hall upstairs. Wrapped in the splendor of immensity, we saw the Mother in majestic repose. Her beloved face was etched in a peace beyond our understanding. One would have thought Mother was in Samadhi. Tara Devi was sitting near Mother, indeed Samadhi. We went around in pradakshina in voiceless prayer. Never more in this world would we thrill to the merciful glance of love and peace. Never more that tender smile which melted our sorrows in a trice. Never more for us the golden notes of that heavenly voice. O Mother Divine, you tended us as little children lost in the wilderness of samsara. You filled our hearts with divine riches. You cradled us in your divine arms. May we ever tread in thy truth and thy love in the plenitude of thy grace. The silent night witnessed the moving pageant of homage and adoration. We spent the night in meditation and prayers. Mystic intimations of the Samadhi had reached devotees staying far away, about which we heard later in the Trivandrum Mandir. At the time of the Samadhi, the caretaker and the people in the neighboring houses heard the ringing of the bell at the exact moment of the Mahasamadhi from the locked Mandir and wondered what it meant. In the morning they found the shrine door wide open. Sometimes now I wonder how I had the strength to bear it all. I realized that while Mother by her physical absence was responsible for the pain, yet it was she who by her invisible presence soothed the ache. Early in the morning, all the devotees at Shaktinagar had their bath and went for the final darshan. By then, Mother's body was brought down and was seated in the front veranda of Mother Nilayam for public darshan. Hundreds of people, rich and poor, came for darshan. Mother had instructed Tara Devi that all who came should be allowed to touch the right toe of her lotus feet. All the poor people around Shaktinagar made their children also have their baths, so that they could have the blessings of touching the divine feet. People began to stream in from the city and neighboring places after reading the news from papers or hearing it over All India Radio. At 1 p.m., Mother seated on the sofa was carried on shoulders of her disciples to Bhagwan Memorial Hall. The chanting went on with complete devotion while Mother's sofa was placed before Sri Bhagwan's statue. It was a poignant moment, a picture of the divine bond of Garhastya they assumed in the world, so that Mother might live the life that was to be her message. When the hall and shrine were built, Mother had indicated where her Samadhi Peedam should be built. Accordingly, a deep cellar had been built exactly beneath the base of the pedestal where the Devi Ramambika Vigraha was placed later. Very few knew of this, as it had been covered by a slab soon after the work was completed. Now the hour was approaching and Mother was brought before the shrine and placed facing her on Archa Vigraha. It was no more a mortal form, but the mother of resplendent power that we saw and devotees surged forward to offer flowers and garlands for the last time. Every ritual was performed with the discipline so dear to Mother. Tara Devi was there, her face reflecting a viraha not of this world. Yet she was the perfect disciple, guiding every act in a meticulous manner. Then disciples and mother's close relatives lowered the Saguna form to the last resting place. The Vigraha of Devi Ramambika shone in radiant Chaitanya, evoking the union of the Archa and the manifested form of Parashakti. Never before had the world seen such a divine sight. The last rites commenced. Tara Devi adorned Mother with jewels. Flowers were placed on her hair. As she applied kumkum to her forehead, it seemed as if Mother raised her head to receive it from her. Years before, after the Mahasamadhi of Sri Bhagavan, Mother had removed her ornaments, the flowers from her hair, and the kumkum in accordance with her dharma archana. But now, with the intuitive understanding of the perfect disciple, Tara Devi knew that with the Mahasamadhi, Mother had divested herself of all her human roles. Now there remained only the Saguna form of Lalitambika with all her Vaibhavas. The rules and codes of human behavior were not intrinsic to her. They were assumed for a purpose and no longer bound her. She was the mother whom rishis had praised as Sarvamangala Mangalya. The Purohits gathered their extolled the Sat Shishya, who alone knew how the last homage should be paid to her Guru, the Divine Mother of all. A copper plate with Mother's name, dates of her advent and Mahasamadhi, and the divine mantra inscribed on it was placed near Mother. Then one by one all the assembled devotees came to the steps of the shrine to shower camphor on the divine body and to catch a last glimpse of the Almighty Mother in her last resting place, blessing humanity for all times to come. In that last offering, there was neither caste nor creed, and Christians and Mohammedans took part, thus proclaiming the divine nature of her all-embracing love. Every heart echoed the cry, O Mother, be with us at all moments and deliver us from the darkness of ignorance to thy everlasting light. The shrine was closed for 12 days. A lit lamp and a kalasha were placed outside, and during Namajabam, puja and arati were performed to the deepam. From 3rd November, the devotees began leaving Shaktinagar. Tara Devi met each and every one of them, consoling them and infusing cheer and courage to go forward on their life's journey. As the Madras Mandali were preparing to leave, I accompanied my daughter, who was leaving along with them, to Matranilayam to take leave of Tara Devi. Dr. Pai told us Tara Devi was in deep absorption, but we were to wait as she would come out soon. It was nearing time for them to go. Suddenly Tara Devi came into our midst, a being who, while remaining in the realm of relativity, yet exuded tremendous power, abiding in mother consciousness. Vibrant, solemn words came from her, reminding us of our duty to Mother, of her love and sacrifice for us, and how by our lives of dedication we should repay that debt of gratitude. Compassion and love too were there, and as the devotees got up to leave, in an overwhelming onrush of prema, Tara Devi embraced all the women devotees there, drawing into herself their anguish, as had been commanded by Mother in her last hours. Silently all bowed down and took leave of her. Later my daughter wrote how all of them were on the point of breaking down, but with the divine embrace of a spiritual balm, healed their suffering hearts, and they felt strength coursing into their bodies to face a life without the presence of Mother. Charanam Sharanam Ramambige, Charanam Sharanam Trayambage. Jai Mother.